Grand rising to all my investors and stuff out there, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another Monday of the Entrepreneurial Conversation today. So our toolbox topic that we're going to have today is being an entrepreneur out of survival. So that's going to be a very good topic that we're going to talk about today. And I brought that up due to the fact is you do have entrepreneurs out here that only entered the field of entrepreneurship due to survival, being in survival mode and what have you. And I'm not telling you to become, if you feel like you have to survive, become an entrepreneur, because that's the wrong reason to get into entrepreneurship, right? You're supposed to become an entrepreneur because you want to make change. You want to be a benefit to people's life, or it's a market out there that's missing something that you can create through your creativity. And also the most important thing is to change your family financial situation, secure your wealth, build wealth for yourself and take control of that and what have you, and employ people within your environment to change their lives and what have you. So I'm definitely not telling you to become an entrepreneur out of survival. That's the wrong reason to become an entrepreneur and what have you. But before we jump into the topic for today, you know what time it is. If you are watching this playback of the show on our YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when a new episode drop. And also smash on that like button so the algorithm know this is a real pod show going on right now. And if you are listening to the show on our Spotify channel, make sure you hit the follow button so you can be notified when a new episode drop. And also, I know last week I let y'all know that we're going to be on Pod Up and what have you. I didn't get a chance to put it up. I have to do a couple things to set that up on Pod Up and what have you. So if it's not up this coming Monday on podup.com, expect it to be on there in episode 5 and what have you. So it's a little things that I have to do to make sure I get that up and have everything running right for you guys. And also, not to forget, make sure you make your way over to investflagship.com, jump on our email list so you can be notified when that site officially drop and what have you. So we coming close. I know it's been a long journey. I know week in and week out, Monday after Monday, I'm telling y'all to go and subscribe, go and get on our email list and what have you, because I want to make sure you're ready when we do drop. Because look at this hat that I have. This is going to be a hat that you're going to see on the site, NVest. This is our logo, our hat right here. So this hat will guarantee you, this hat will start conversation, because when people see NVest, they know what time it is. They know what journey you on, because you want to be able to have something when you're on your entrepreneur journey that makes you feel good. They give you that recognition and what have you to remind you of what you're doing this for, and this definitely will. So you definitely don't want to miss out on getting you an Invest hat and what have you. So you know what time it is, man. It's that segment we call our Spotlight News, where I give you a topic, article, and let you know what's going on in the entrepreneur world and what have you, that hopefully can help you out as a new entrepreneur and what have you. So on our Spotlight News today, coming from entrepreneur.com, what have you. So I'm going to leave the link. I know I said a couple times I leave a link up in the description, but you know, when I'm editing the shows and what have you, and I put it out, I forget all the time to add the link to the description. So please remind me to do that and what have you. But other than that, man, the article today coming from entrepreneur.com is want to be more productive. Here's how Google executives structure their schedule. And basically what this article is just showing you how to become productive. If you feeling like you haven't been productive at all, you've been unproductive, this is a good way to be able to eliminate some things to make sure that you are getting important tasks done and what have you. So the things that they do far as they scheduling and what have you, they help them out, is number one on their list they have is how to clean your to-do list. So they made a suggestion is if your to-do list has gotten too large, Martin suggests creating a list with literally everything you believe you can or should be doing. So basically what he's saying, make sure you getting rid of things that's not very important. Put things on your to-do list that's going to be something that you definitely need to get done, because if you get the things that really matter done, that would definitely help you feel productive, that will keep you motivated and what have you, and you won't be stressed out. because you don't want to create that stress type of environment within yourself, because you're feeling like you have this large list of to-do lists and you're not getting anything done because you have a lot of things that's really doesn't really matter on your list. So clean it up. If you have a long to-do list, get rid of things that doesn't really matter and keep the things that you really matters to you and what have you. Number 2 on the list is how to plan for urgent tasks and what have you. So basically he said, here's a familiar problem. Your day is packed with wall-to-wall meetings, and then something urgent comes up. When are you supposed to do this urgent thing? You have 2 choices. You can either cancel one of your meetings or work late into tonight. So it's hard to plan for an urgent task and what have you, but basically what they saying is you got to make the best decision. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to put things off and come back to it later, especially if it's an urgent task. That's urgent basically mean it's something that's important. So if it's something that's urgent, that's important, you might have to cancel something. You might have to push something back to later on tonight. You might have to be what they say, burning the midnight oil, order for you to get that other thing you should have done earlier, but you had some urgent that popped up and what have you. So you definitely want to make sure. And also he said there's a better way. Put an urgent time block on your calendar every day. Martin explained how it works for Google Cloud and what have you. So that's a good technique to do. You know, put an urgent block just in case something do come up. You have a block of time, might say for instance from 5 to 7. That's your urgent block that you have, right? Just in case some urgent come up within the 2 hours, you free. You don't have to worry about anything that needs to be done. But like I said, it's hard to really plan for when an urgent task might have, but you know, you have to do the best in your ability to make sure you plan it, especially when it comes to your calendar. And number 3 on the list they have is how to focus on bigger things. So they said if you have something important to do, block time for it on your calendar. But sometimes, Martin, right, you should block an entire day for nothing in particular. And that makes sense. You want to sometimes block out a whole day just because, just in case some urgent tasks pop up or something bigger you need to focus on pops up and what have you. You have that whole day to yourself to get it done. You don't have to worry about anything else. So sometimes you might have to block a whole day just in case it's something important that comes up. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. And number 4 on the list is how to tackle huge projects. So what he said is have a big project that can't be finished in one sitting. It's often hard to start projects like this because they seem so daunting, and it's even harder to keep working on them day after day. So he said, try this, Martin, right? Stop in the middle. And sometimes, yes, it's hard when you're working on a project, and you know, sometimes, you know, it can become a lot. It helps to pause sometimes in the middle, you know, where you can get your mental mind state back. You can get some mental relaxation. You can go and focus on something else and come back to it and what have you, because you don't want to burn yourself out on something and you cannot finish it because you so mentally drained and burnt out. So you want to make sure you find a stopping point. And he also goes on to say, Martin say she did this with her book. Instead of stopping a day's work at the end of the chapter, she stopped in the middle of the chapter, which made it easier to pick up the next day. So sometimes you want to have a stopping point where you can pick it back up the next day once you get some sleep, once you get some rest, mental time where you can relax mentally and what have you. Now you can pick it back up and what have you. So number 5 on the list is how to make your meetings more efficient. So he is meetings can drag on, but they don't have to. Martin suggests creating shorter meeting times like 15-minute check-ins, which forces everyone to be more focused and what have you. So you want to make sure you know how to make your meetings efficient, especially when you get to a point when you're an entrepreneur, you get to the point where you have to have meetings with your team. If you have a team or what have you, you want to make sure you have what do you say, meetings that's like 15-minute check-ins, just here and there. It don't have to be an hour long, 2 hour long. The quick little 15 minutes to get a rundown of everything, see how everything's going, see what tasks are being done, what's done, what needs to be done. So you really don't have to stretch your meeting out. So this right here are some things that if you are an entrepreneur and you feeling like, man, I've been unproductive, you can definitely go through your list of things and making sure that everything is falling in place, making sure your tasks, you cleaning your to-do list off, making sure it's the important things you need to get done on your list. Make sure you have a block for that day just for urgent tasks that may pop up and what have you. So you want to make sure you always putting yourself in the best position to win as an entrepreneur and what have you. So that article is come from entrepreneur.com. I'm gonna leave the link up so you can read the article and you can get see what you can do far as you creating your list that can help you stay productive as an entrepreneur and what have you. So that is the segment for today, our spotlight news. You know what time it is. We're gonna take a quick break and we're going to be right back with that segment we call Quote Me On That, where I read you a quote and I explain to you what the quote mean. But other than that, man, make sure y'all tap back in to the entrepreneurial conversation. Welcome back to the Entrepreneurial Conversation, man. Thank you for tapping back in. Like I said, today, our toolbox topic that we're going to be talking about today is being an entrepreneur out of survival and what have you. But before we jump into the topic for today, you know what time it is. That segment we call Quote Me On That, where I read you a quote and I explain to you what the quote means. Today's quote is for my entrepreneurs out there betting on yourself, out there believing in yourself, investing in yourself, chasing your dreams, your goals, and what have you. Today quote is, your ideas is the vision to what your creativity sees. So let me read that again just in case you didn't hear it or understand what it was. Today quote is, your ideas is the vision to what your creativity sees. So basically what the quote means is your ideas that you create is going to be through your creativity lenses, right? So this is what your creativity lenses see. This is the vision. Your ideas is vision. The ideas that you create and you come up with, that's through your creativity, right? That's what you see. That's what you create at the time. Whatever you see, that's the idea that you're going to create at the moment, at the time. This is what your creativity is bringing to you. This is what you're seeing through your creativity is the ideas that you are creating as an entrepreneur for your business, for your services, whatever you're doing as an entrepreneur. These are your creativity lenses that you are seeing, right? So you're going to produce your ideas through your creativity. That's why it's so important to understand your creativity is your currency, right? You can always leverage your creativity because your creativity gonna give you longevity. Because if the more you become creative, you can innovate your business. You can innovate as an entrepreneur. And when you have creativity that people love, you got creativity to offer to people to help them out that they can benefit from and what have you, that goes a long way. So always understand your ideas is what your creativity sees and what have you, and you're going to produce that and what have you. So that is what the quote mean. That is the setting for today, man. Quote me on that. Now it's time to jump into our topic, our toolbox topic for today, man. Like I said, today's topic, when we talk about being an entrepreneur out of survival and what have you. And the thing about this topic for today is, you do have entrepreneurs out here that don't have purpose, doesn't have a purpose of why they are an entrepreneur, right? They just doing it out of survival because this is the only option that they have. They don't have nowhere else to turn to, due to they may lost their job, they facing financial difficulties, limited option for employment and what have you, right? So now they feeling like, okay, only way I can survive is through entrepreneurship, right? And that's the wrong reason to get into entrepreneurship, is through survival, right? When you become an entrepreneur, right, You become an entrepreneur because you're trying to make change within your circle, make change within your environment. You trying to take control of building your wealth. You know what I'm saying? So you can have some generational wealth to pass down. You can have something you can pass down to your kids. Your kids can pass it down to their kids and what have you, right? So, or you trying to create something of purpose that benefit others out there. That's something that's missing within the market, the field that you are in as an entrepreneur. You trying to build, you trying to bring something to people that may benefit them, because that's what something that makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? Through your creativity, you can create something that people can benefit from and what have you, right? So those are some things that this is the reason why you become an entrepreneur and what have you, right? Right. Like I said, entrepreneurship isn't for the weak, right? You have to be committed to this. And when you are doing things out of survival, you basically going to be doing things just to survive, right? You don't really have a plan put together, right? When you're doing things out of survival, especially as an entrepreneur, you're not putting together no business plan. You're not putting together strategies. You're not coming up with a framework that's going to be successful to help you as an entrepreneur. You're not going to do any of the things that an entrepreneur needs to do to be successful. You're just doing this because you like, hey, I ain't got no other place to turn to. I don't have no job. I put out applications. I'm waiting for a job to get back with me. I'm going to become an entrepreneur. You know, I'm just gonna put something out there. Hopefully, I can get some people to buy it and what have you. You know, I'm not really gonna put nothing together that's seriously gonna make sure that I'm succeed at being an entrepreneur and what have you. Right. So when you're doing things out of survival, it's just you just trying to survive. You don't care where it comes from. You just hope it comes and what have you. That's just like saying a boxer that's in the ring, right? He's not in the ring boxing. He's in the ring surviving, because now he's like, okay, the person I fought against, I thought I was going to be able to beat him until I felt the power of that person. Now I'm in survival mode. I feel like now I can't even beat this person. You know, I don't have a purpose on why I'm in the ring, because at first I had a purpose. You know, I thought I could beat this person. I had a plan that I was going to stick to. I had I had everything put in place, but then when I finally got in the ring with this fighter, and I found out, man, this person is better than what I thought, and I feel like my skills ain't up to par to beat this person. You're gonna be in survival mode, right? You trying not to get knocked out. You're not trying to lose and what have you. So you're gonna be doing anything to be able to survive in the ring until the 12th round is over with and what have you, or till the fight is over with and what have you, right? And that's the wrong reason to be in a boxing ring, because you can end up getting yourself killed like that just trying to survive. And that's the same thing go with entrepreneurship, right? You don't want to be in the field of entrepreneurship trying to survive, because what's going to happen? You're going to further put yourself in debt. You going to create a bad You're going to create a bad reputation for yourself, right? You're going to be doing things that's not going to be conducive to helping you succeed as an entrepreneur, because you're just surviving right now. So it really doesn't really matter. You're just trying to look for anything that's going to be able to carry you along. You're going to be trying to do anything that's going to help you live day to day, and just wherever it comes from, you know. So that's one of the things that, you know, when you are entrepreneur, you want to have purpose of why you're doing this. And it takes a very special minded person, a special person to be an entrepreneur anyway, right? Everybody doesn't have that entrepreneur mindset, because everybody don't want to be an entrepreneur, right? Everybody don't want to be business owners, right? So it takes that very special person with that mindset to be an entrepreneur. And if you have a mindset of survival, then like I said, it's going to be hard for you, right? To be an entrepreneur. So here goes some things that is going to be challenges if you starting a business in a time of need, right? These are the challenges if you are starting, or you are beginning your entrepreneur journey in a time of need. what have you, right? It's going to be limited resources of funding, because if you are strategically planning and you really want to become an entrepreneur and you have purpose of why you are becoming an entrepreneur and what have you, you're going to make sure you have some type of resources. You're going to be reaching out to gain resources. You're going to be reaching out to see where you can get funding from and what have you, right? You're going to make a strategic plan with the funding that you have, the money that you have, the resources that you have, right? So you're going to do things that's going to help you capitalize off the limited resources that you may have and what have you, right? And that's what's very important. That's why you should do things with purpose and not do things out of survival. And because when you do things out of survival, right, it's a spare of the moment. It's nothing really planned. You're not going to really get nowhere. You're going to burn out the little resources that you have, the limited resources that you have, because you don't have no direction on where and how to use the resources to gain more, to capitalize off the limited resources that you have. So, or you're not going to know where to get funding at because you haven't set yourself up to have different options of funding and what have you. So you got to understand that you definitely don't want to be an entrepreneur out of survival. Another thing is a lack of experience and skills in entrepreneurship and what have you, right? And as you starting off, yes, we all start off with a lack of experience and skills as an entrepreneur. Some of us don't, because some of us are entrepreneurs early, but we are like at the low level of entrepreneurship, whether it's a hobby. We start off, like, say for instance, you started off selling CDs, right? And that was just a hobby of yours. Then it turned into something that you really wanted to do. So now you really amp it up and you are swinging more of becoming an entrepreneur. So now you are, steady you burning your CDs and selling them and what have you. Now you getting legit copies of your CDs. You getting now you buying mass quantity of them because now you're taking it serious. You want the real thing. You want this to be authentic and what have you, right? As an entrepreneur, right? So now the lack of experience that you have now, since you tapping into, now you moving from being a hobby now to being a something that you taking serious as an entrepreneur. Now you're gonna be like, okay, I have a lack of experience of being an entrepreneur, but you know what? I'm gonna get around people that does have experience. I'm gonna get a mentor now because I'm taking this serious. I'm gonna get a mentor. I'm gonna get somebody that can guide me and what have you. Or, you're gonna find yourself getting into groups that's already successful, or people that's like-minded like you, that's trying to go in the same direction as you going as an entrepreneur and what have you, right? So now you're working on your skills as an entrepreneur. Now you, like I said, now you honing in, you're trying to get better at becoming an entrepreneur so you can grow as you grow as a person. Your skills grow, you grow, your experience, more experience you gain, you're going to grow as an entrepreneur. So now you're doing things that's going to be geared towards you working your way up as being an entrepreneur so you can grow your business, do whatever it takes. See, when you're in survival mode, you don't care about having lack experience of being an entrepreneur. You don't care about bettering your skills or gaining experience. You just doing this out of survival. This is spare of the moment. You just hoping that you can make a little bit of money so you can float along and what have you, right? So it's going to be things that you're not going to do that's going to help you become successful as an entrepreneur when you're just doing it in the spare of the moment out of survival and what have you, right? So the last thing is overcoming fear and self-doubt. And the thing about it, when you're in survival mode, right, it's going to be hard for you to overcome that fear of, okay, if this doesn't work, I'm going to be homeless. If this doesn't work, then I don't have nothing else to turn to and what have you, right? See, when you are doing, you become an entrepreneur with purpose and you enter into the field of entrepreneurship, you're going to work on things that's going to help you overcome fear, right? You're going to do things that's going to help motivate you. You're going to do things that you can help you achieve your goals. Now you're going to put yourself in a place where you're going to be able to help you overcome the fear that you have, any self-doubt that you have, right? So you're going to be doing things that's going to be conducive to helping you grow as an entrepreneur, help you eliminate that fear, help you eliminate that self-doubt, right? because you're setting yourself up for small wins. You're setting yourself up to be able to achieve your goals. You're building your strategies, right? That's going to help you as an entrepreneur, well as you helping your business. Like I said, a lot of times as you grow as an entrepreneur, your business grow and what have you. So you're going to be doing things that's going to be a challenge to you as an entrepreneur. You're going to be doing things that's going to help eliminate that challenge, and you're going to be able to set yourself up to be able to achieve and beat that challenge as an entrepreneur. See, when you entrepreneur out of survival, none of this stuff matters. You can care less about your limited resources in your funding, because you're just going to be doing things to, hopefully, this is just a spur of the moment thing. Hopefully this can be something that can work out for me because I don't have nothing else to turn to, right? Like you're not going to care about the lack of experience, the skills you have. It's going to be okay, whatever. What I know, what I think I know, this is what I'm going to run with. I'm in survival mode right now. I'm going to do whatever it takes not to fail. I'm going to do whatever it takes, because I don't have any other options to turn to, right? So you got to understand, man, when you are becoming an entrepreneur out of purpose, that's the purpose of helping your situation, taking control of building your generational wealth. You take control of building your environment so people that's within your circle can be able to eat off of. They can help the people around them and what have you, right? So you're going to be doing things, or, you becoming an entrepreneur with purpose of helping people through your creativity, where you create something they can benefit from and what have you, building that community. So you're going to be doing things that's going to help you grow and be successful as an entrepreneur, rather than you doing things as an entrepreneur that's geared towards just surviving. What have you. So that's not what you want to do as an entrepreneur. Be in survival mode. You want to be an entrepreneur with purpose. You're doing this with a purpose. You creating things that's going to help you out and what have you. So do not go on your journey of entrepreneurship through survival. Start your journey of entrepreneurship through purpose of why you are an entrepreneur and what have you. So that's very important, guys. So that is our toolbox topic for today. So make sure, if you are an entrepreneur out there and you only became an entrepreneur through survival because you have nothing else to turn to because of a loss of job, facing financial difficulties, limited options of employment and what have you, please redirect yourself and come up with a purpose of why you want to be an entrepreneur and what have you. But other than that, guys, you know what it is, man. Make sure you hit on that subscribe button. Make sure you hit on that notification bell so you can be notified when a new episode drop. And make sure you hit on that like button so the algorithm know this is a real pod show going on, guys. Man, please tap in with me. Other than that, man, make your way over NVest flagship, man, right now. Get on our email list so you can be emailed when the new site officially drop or anything else that goes on in NVest, guys. Definitely. Make sure you tap in every Monday. Yep.